Welcome, all my home workout killers today. Welcome back to the Dave Morrow PT channel. I'm your host, Dave Morrow. And today we're going to be talking about home gym equipment. It's 2024, folks. If you haven't figured it out, you need to have your own home gym. So I want to highlight my 5 favorites that I think should be staples in everybody's house right now. So follow along and you're going to be able to actually see some of the interesting offers I have in terms of actual equipment, but also some workouts that go along with some of the videos. So if you're new here, I'd love for you to hit a like and hit a subscribe to support the channel. As you know, this is one of, if not the only channel that is driving home the point that you need to be fitter, leaner, stronger, and harder to kill, and providing the single best information alpha in terms of fitness and health for the veteran community, bar none. So if you're tuning in and this is your first time here, I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. So drop it in the comments and let's get started. So we're going to start with the 5 pieces of home gym equipment that I think are absolutely 100% necessary. And as I go through the list, if you've got comments, you're like, hey, I've got an even better idea, I want to hear it. Okay. So community engagement is super important here. I want to hear where you're coming from. And if you got any points or any really cool stories about some of the home equipment that you have at home, I want you to drop it here in the comments. If you're tuning in from Facebook, make sure to follow along with the instructions that are posted in my Facebook group to be able to comment on the live stream so that I can see it here streaming on StreamYard. Okay. So without further ado, let's open up and take a look at the 5 pieces of home equipment. And the first piece of home equipment that I think is absolutely 100% necessary, you should not be allowed to call yourself a home workout guru or trainer or whatever you want to call yourself unless you have kettlebells at home. Kettlebells by far are the single best training implement that I've found over the last 20, 30 years of working out, since I was doing push-ups in my basement when I was in high school. Kettlebells completely changed the game for me because they're portable, they're indestructible, they're pretty much standardized across the board, and you have almost an infinite amount of possible workout possibilities, exercises. The possibilities are endless. So that's why I like them. Plus, you're able to develop a ton of cardiovascular endurance and muscular strength with one implement. The cost savings that you have with one of these compared to, let's say, like you get a Bowflex or one of those big apparatuses that you have to put in your basement, it's not even quantifiable how much better it is compared to all these other things, because you will literally have it for life. You're not going to put it out in the curb because guaranteed somebody else is going to pick it up. You need to keep these like your children. Keep them tight and close to your chest. Don't let your kettlebells go for anything. So what I like to prescribe most of the times is, if you're using kettlebells when you're starting out, 12 to 16 kilograms is adequate for your first like kettlebell purchase. And then you should definitely think about getting a 24 or 32 kilogram bell as a means to be able to progress. But also some of the movements, you're going to need something a little bit heavier. Anything more than 32 kilograms, you're really going like next level. 32 kilograms is great for kettlebell swings and for just doing regular old carries. It might be a little bit tough to get overhead, but needless to say, it's amazing for all other types of work like lunges, single leg deadlifts, etc. I have a link here. I'm just going to show you just the link here from On It, which I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with. But Joe Rogan is obviously a co-founder of this company. If you want those cool looking bells, like those ones that have got like gorillas and stuff on them, well, that's where they come from. They come from On It. So you can see here the primal kettlebells. Yeah, they look freaking cool. Like, I'm not going to lie, I wish I had some. I don't have any because I have standardized kettlebells, so like the competition ones, only because if you start doing some like actual kettlebell work where you're doing snatches and stuff, this can get a little gnarly on your wrists. So I would recommend if you are going to consider doing snatches, cleans, etc., and not just doing kettlebell swings and carries, that you switch to a more standardized model. So like the one here at Synergy, this is a Canadian company too. So if you're listening in Canada and you want something with the ability to reduce shipping and handling fees from the States, you definitely want to go with something like Synergy here. And you can get the more or less standardized bells with the standard faces on them at all different weights. But as you can see here, January came around and crushed their inventory. So kettlebells are usually hard to come by. So if you do come across them at a discount or at Canadian Tire or at a local garage sale, you definitely want to pick them up. They're a really hot item to pick up. So you got both of those links in the description below. So let's move on to just a quick 10-minute workout that you can find on YouTube. And we'll just fast forward a little bit there. This workout is great for beginners. So if you want to grab a kettlebell and then grip and rip with a really easy 8-minute workout that's going to get your blood pumping without very much technical skill, this is it right here. Now, the second piece of equipment that I really like is elastic bands. Now, I don't need to really put much up there in terms of elastic bands. The elastic bands I'm talking about are the ones that are longer than the shorter kind of half bands. So the bands are versatile in the sense that you're able to bring them literally anywhere. So if you're on the road or you're heading out for, a few days on business, throw them in your suitcase. Throw one in your suitcase. You're going to be able to do a whole bunch of different exercises that will maintain and potentially even increase performance depending on how hard you're going. But you can pretty much do everything. And one of the things I like to do is I like to rep out in terms of bicep curls and tricep push downs with a set of elastic bands. Okay. These are also found if you want a set that will come in handy in a nice little bag with three different types of elastics. You can head to the link here in the description to LeBear Fitness, and you can go find your pack today. So third on the list, what do we have? We have the equalizer. So what is the equalizer? Whoops, I already moved ahead to number 4. Cheated. Okay, the equalizer. The equalizer is something that I only found out about last year. I saw them at the gym, but I didn't really know what they were. So I was like, man, I gotta figure out what these are. So the equalizer is quite simply something that was invented by LeBear Fitness. So I'll just pull it up here on the screen. You've probably seen these in the gym, eh? Yeah, you probably see these in the gym. So it gives you a really interesting platform to do a whole bunch of other stuff that is, body weight, but in a totally different setup. What I like about it is that you can do a lot of stuff for your back, your upper back, in terms of rows. So I'm just going to show a quick video here from an influencer, not me. So I should definitely get on this. And you can see here, when it comes to basic workouts, okay, you can flip it over, do a elevated push-up, and then do a row. I don't think I'd call that a reverse push-up. And then you can do, one of my favorite exercises to do in the morning is dips. So you can hop on this and just do a ton of dips, right? And to have that available is really, really good for body weight and calisthenics. And then you can do some abs like the fella's doing here as well. So that's why this is probably one of, that's why it's like number 3 on the list. It's not as portable, but man, does it give you the ability to get a really good workout at home with basically no profile, right? It just sits in the corner of your house and it's good to go from there. So as you saw before, next up on the list is a pull-up bar. Honestly, I can't make it any easier for you. You need a pull-up bar. What I did at home, actually, when I moved in to our new place, that's like almost going on 10 years, 8 years now. I was like, man, I need a place to lift. We didn't have a garage, so we looked on YouTube, figured out how to set posts, put a lifting platform, and put a pull-up bar. So I just bought all the stuff at Reno Depot and got some plumbing. So I got some pipe, screwed it into the posts, and it's been there ever since. It's sturdy as shit. And it's been great because I'm a tall guy, right? So a lot of times finding a platform that's tall enough for me to actually grab onto it can be tricky. So this way my feet definitely don't touch because I set it at the height I wanted to, and I don't have to worry about it falling apart and smashing my nose like it did when I was in high school. So yeah, you might have all had that experience where you're doing those doing pull-ups on the ones that are screwed into the door frame and it just smashes on your nose. We're adults now. We can afford the more expensive ones that can bolt into your walls, into your actual studs. I recommend getting that if you're going to get a pull-up bar rather than something that just screws into your door frame. And then lastly, I'm sure you can't wait, but this is going to be something that you likely weren't considering as something that I would be mentioning as a top 5 workout piece of equipment, but slider pads. So slider pads, I'll show you what they are. They kind of changed the game for me, man. Not gonna lie. These they're made for 2 different surfaces. So hardwood or like carpet. And what you can do is a lot of eccentric work. So you can do like a hamstring curl. I call it the poor man's hamstring curl. I'll show you an example of it in 2 seconds. That built a ton of tension in my hamstring so that my hamstring can get ready for the Ironman. And the cool thing about it is that it actually helps with knee pain. So I do these all the time. Requires no weight whatsoever. It is an ass kicking workout. And I guarantee you, like if you can like deadlift like 300 pounds, you're like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, give these a try, man. Seriously, give these a try. The poor man's hamstring curl. I'll show you what it is in a second. You can also do slider push-ups. Okay, really, if you're advanced in terms of push-ups, you can use these to slide out. Squats, you can do kind of like a Cossack squat type movement where you slide your leg out and the other leg goes down. So it's almost like a one-legged squat. Man, there's so much you can do with these. So these have been game changing for me too. So you definitely want to consider picking up a set of these, and like these just go in like a bin somewhere, right? They take up no space at all. So definitely want to pick one of these up and you can get it at LeBear or literally anywhere else. But LeBear here has them for $12 and you get a special discount if you grab it here from the podcast. So there you go, folks. I'll just shift this over to here and show you quickly what I mean by the poor man's hamstring curls. So this is what I mean. So it's my buddy Simon here. Half that as well. You can see here he's out. And if you notice, that's a towel. So you can easily use a towel at home. You don't have to use sliders. However, you can't use a towel on carpet. It's just not going to work. Plus, you're going to burn through a few towels quite quickly if that's your SOP. So I would recommend getting some sliders. Spend the $12. You can afford it. Okay. Although times might be tough because Christmas just ended and you spent thousands of dollars on your kids. What I'm saying is go out there and fully equip your home gym based off of what I have there. Honestly, all that put together, you might spend $300 and now you've got a solid gym that will last indefinitely with almost zero maintenance. That's one thing you have to consider as well. Is as soon as you get a piece of equipment that's large, that's got gears, it's got mechanics, got electronics, it's going to break down. Find stuff that will never break down. So your barrier to entry to actually starting to train is very low. So that's it for me. If you enjoyed this, if you're keen on hearing more, I'm going live every Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday. Oh boy. It's been a long week. I'm going live every Friday at 1500 hours Eastern Standard. So if you want to tune in and participate in the conversation, I encourage you set the notification when I go live and put it on your calendars because I'd love to hear more from you as community members. I'd love to hear more from you in the Facebook group as well as to what you'd like to see. And folks, you know, the more you share and the more you like and the more you subscribe, the more this content gets seen by more veterans just like yourself that want to get fitter, leaner, and harder to kill. Okay, that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget, train hard, fight easy. Peace.